Okay, cool. And we are on, boys. I'd like to welcome Micheal. I'm so glad he's here. For people that don't know, Micheal Monsieur, lifetime athlete, self-trained. But if you look at him, I think no one's gonna argue. He's an IFBB athletic physique. He's competitive.
And muscular physique, yeah.
And muscular physique.
Yeah, a little bit.
So a bit of competitive bodybuilding, but just an all-round passion for training. And yeah, we're just glad to have you on the show. Welcome.
100%. Thanks for having me here, guys.
We're happy to have you here. We're our first athlete we signed, and our first guy we had on the podcast. So that's power.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess the first thing I want to ask you is, you can tell the people, you know, your story, your training story, and why you got into fitness, when you started, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess it started from a long time back, guys. When I was a lighty, I wasn't exactly small, but not in a good way, you know.
I think I might
I was the kid. I was a kid that the other kids made fun of, you know, for having a stomach and being chubby and whatever. So I didn't like it. I wanted to change something, so started as a kid just running, and then I got my first boxing bag, and then my first set of weights, and then eventually my first gym membership, and yeah, and then the rest is history. That's how it started, eh?
It's crazy, and
yeah.
I think a lot of the time that's how most people's fitness, and most fitness fanatics, that people take it to the next level, were at that stage where like they were either very skinny or they were overweight, and they were like, and then once they started seeing results, it was over for them.
It's transformation.
It's a big transformation.
Point A to point B.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then you think you start, okay, you know, now I'm at point A, when you think, okay, cool, I'm going to get to point B, but I promise you, point B never comes.
Yeah.
Because you get to where you thought point B was, and then you're like, okay, fuck, I'm looking great now, but what about if I carry on training for another year and another year? You know?
It's also hard to train, and then you go to the gym thinking you're looking good, and you see that other guy, and you're like,
yeah,
I just need to be a bit closer to that guy.
Yeah. So you say, so obviously your metabolism, is your metabolism still slow?
Yeah, I'd say I've got a slow metabolism.
Yeah.
You know, I pick up weight but a lot easier than I lose weight.
Okay,
so I have to be quite strict with carbs and whatever to stay.
Well, I've known you for some time now, and I think you probably, we know quite a few competitive bodybuilders. You're probably the most disciplined person I know when it comes to just eating.
Yeah.
Your diet it scares me. Mommy up, lady. You asses.
Yeah,
no, dude.
Yeah,
but I guess
your diet is your big
yeah. During the week, I'm strict with diet during the week, but the weekends then I just go whatever, eat whatever I want, and then Monday comes, do a little crash again, and I'm made up for the weekend, and then the next 4 days I can spend improving, you know.
Yeah.
So that's my plan. Yeah, every week. Yeah, every week.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have a little bit of a blowout on the weekend.
Yeah.
What's your blowout like? Is your blowout maybe like 1 pizza, or is it like 3 pizzas, 4 chocolates?
Because you're eating so strict, I can imagine you can't just like stuff yourself.
Like, no, you'd be surprised.
Is it your big?
So I'll go for 1 pizza. Sometimes I won't even eat the whole pizza, but then when the chocolate comes out, I do damage.
So
I got a
sweet tooth.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, that's I gotta say I'm not a sweet. Since I started training, it's weird. When I would say maybe from the until about 15, 16, I had the sweet tooth, like the biggest sweet tooth I could eat. Only sweet things and I'd be shocked. But once I started training and started dieting and that, my sweet tooth, it's like weird, it just went away. Which is weird, I don't know if it was like that for you at all.
I thought that was going to happen, it never did though.
I literally don't know the last time I ate a proper like chocolate, like a chocolate bar or like a fizzy drink. And I don't know if it's just a mental thing, like fuck bro.
I don't know, I'm terrible because you know me. My biggest issue is like I train all the time, I just don't eat properly.
Yeah.
So I'm at the opposite side of the fence, but yeah, I'm just greedy.
If you get if you get that right, then
that's the main thing. I think I've dropped from this year alone from 115 to 96 now, probably up again since the gyms have been closed. But yeah, so it's just instilling the discipline, I think, on a day to day.
Yeah, 100%. That's like 20 kgs in a couple of months. That's
yeah.
But then again, at your biggest, you weren't just big, my boy. You were big. If you think about it, how long was it ago when you had Sandalwood? When you still lived in the other house?
Bro. I think it was like 2 years ago, probably.
Yeah, if you think about it, what you were there to what you look now, it's a different story.
Oh yeah, it's a different story. And I've also learned by knowing people like yourself, especially knowing someone like Lyle. It's a new passion to me. It's something that I'm just getting into. Remember, I always train for a beginning to end. So like I had rugby or I had MMA or something. So like I would train specifically during those times. So I'm unfit. But come the season, for that 3-4 months, I'm training every single day. Where I've learned now that discipline from bodybuilding, it's a lifestyle choice. It's no longer, hey bro, rugby season's here, so now we're going to run for the next 2 months. When rugby season's done, we're going to stop running. It's every single day, eating properly, it's getting up and training when you don't want to train. And just kind of getting to know your body, I think, is also very important. And that's that.
Yeah, 100%. And like you said, it becomes a lifestyle. Like now with me, I couldn't imagine eating like what my parents eat. It's weird. Like they eat 3 times a day, or like if they miss a meal, like if they don't eat lunch, they're like, oh, fuck, I forgot to eat lunch. I'm like, bro, you forgot to eat. What the fuck?
How do you forget to eat, man?
Yeah, I know. Right.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So you started the fitness thing when you were quite young, and then.
Yeah.
When did you? So obviously your first competition was in 2017, eh?
Yeah, 2017.
It was the IFBB.
Yeah, the provincial one.
The provincial one. Okay, and then so yeah, just tell us a little bit. Was that your goal to compete, or was it just like, okay, fuck, let me try this?
No, not really. I didn't think that I was going to compete. And then when I was still studying in Stellenbosch, I had a mate, or it was one of the trainers at the gym, who asked me one day, like, "Yeah, don't you want to compete?" And I was like, "Well, I didn't, I never thought about it, but I guess we can give it a try."
Okay.
So that was in like 2016, and then I was okay, cool. I'm gonna compete now. 2016, let's go. But then the guy told me, no, these are the minimum requirements you need. And he gave me this list of steroids to take.
Oh.
And he's like, this is what you need. You got 6 months, these are the steroids you need, and then you're ready. And I was like, listen, I don't juice, so this is not going to work for me. So I just gymmed for an extra year. And then went to do that first comp in 2017, juice free. And
you placed second at that?
Yeah, I placed second.
In your first competition, you placed second.
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite wild, actually.
It's fucking wild.
But it was actually a bit of a pity, because when I thought I was going there to do athletic physique, I'm not the biggest guy around. Then when I got there, the judges said, no, you must do muscular physique. And I was like, oh, okay, so you're the judges. If you tell me what to do, I'm probably going to place higher. So I was like, okay, cool. And I did muscular physique, came second, but so it turned out I was too big for athletic physique, but too small for muscular physique.
So you're just in between.
Yeah.
And the guy that won, I think I remember you telling me this, but the guy that won the show, the muscular physique, he was a monster.
Yeah, he had at least 15 kgs over me. Yeah.
Okay, you see, that's a different story.
Yeah.
So you didn't compete at all at you only did the one division. You didn't.
Yeah, I just did that one division. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then your second competition was
essays.
The essays. You got
the provincials was qualifying. Yeah. Then
for essays.
That's it. Yeah. So they chose me for Gauteng to be, even though I did a muscular physique, they chose me to compete in athletic physique in essays.
Okay.
And that was a big difference.
Yeah.
Going
big
from
leap.
the
What was
competition?
the the preparation, because I can imagine you said like you had besides the guy going like just take all the fucking steroids, which is the dumbest shit I've ever heard, but like that jump must be huge. It's like someone that's playing Curry Cup rugby and gets signed to go train with the Springboks now. So now it's a different game, much bigger pool, people that have been doing it for much longer, people that are much more dedicated to it. So how was the prepping for that?
Well, I didn't have much time to prep because the first essay or the provincials was, let's say, in March, and then they tell you 3 months later you got essays. So you know it's not enough time to bulk up and cut down again. So you kind of just have to maintain that shape and that size for 3 months, but that's challenging mentally, because you just finish a competition and you're like, sweet, I'm gonna go try 4 pizzas now.
You have a 3-month training camp from the day that you finish a competition. They pretty much say, okay, you finished the competition, now the hard part starts. Now the shit starts. I thought you weren't fucking eating before, mate. Like now's the time to.
And so, okay, so you competed in athletic physique at essays. Did you have to cut a bit of size, because obviously they said you're a bit too big for?
I cut a little bit of size. I was definitely more shredded on the day of the essays than I was at the provincials.
Okay.
But at essays I didn't do as well. I think I came 6th in essays. I think there was 20 guys competing.
Okay. That's still fucking good for your second.
For my second time, I guess so. But what I realized is that it's also, very about who knows who, So a lot of the guys,
politics.
A lot of politics.
I think in South African sports in general, but I can imagine we've experienced, I would say, like with trying to get into competitions or doing sponsorships and that kind of thing. There is a lot of politics in the game, and it is a very close market to, like you said, it's the ins and outs. Whose uncle is running the show, pretty much.
I mean, fuck, if you best mates with the main judge. I'm not saying it happens all the time.
But it definitely helps, mate.
But it definitely fucking helps. I know for a fact if I was the fucking main judge and my best mate is standing up there, I would try to be as as liberal as possible, but then I'll give him that little bit of bias. You give him that little bit.
And maybe even if you don't want to do it intentionally, there's just that bit of you that's like, because you know how hard that guy. That's also probably another fact, is how hard that individual trains. You've seen the way he eats, and that's now you're sitting there judging him. You should just be judging on what's on stage, but you're also thinking, man, I know how this guy 5 times a week he's in the gym, he's doing like this, and then that also like confirms your bias. You're like, oh, you don't know what the fucking oak does.
Exactly. Also, like, you don't want to fucking tell him he's 8 because fuck, how much work he. Imagine how bad, like,
if it is your like nephew or whatever, it's very hard to go to like a guy and be like, you fucking form of shit.
Exactly.
I mean, don't get me wrong, there's definitely guys who look better than me and who deserve to beat me.
100%.
But the guy who came first, I mean, he's a nice guy, but I don't understand how he came first, because there were guys that, that placed like 3rd and 4th, who way deserved it over him. But I did see that guy, chatting to the judges beforehand and having a laugh with them, building a bit of a rapport.
Okay, that's interesting. I didn't actually, to be honest with you, I didn't know there was too much of that in bodybuilding. I know there's a lot of that in other sports, rugby. I know, getting into Craven Week and all that shit. We won't even get into that because it'll be a 3 hour
Waterkloof or I think so. It's like they select like 5 schools, and it's like, my son goes to that one.
But fuck, I never. In the competitions that I've done, I didn't. Well, actually, now that you say it, maybe, because the guy that placed above me in my last competition, he was, I don't know, like his physique was cuck. It was honestly, listen, I was nowhere near to where the guys that came first. I was nowhere near them, but the guy that went ahead of me,
you were like,
how's that possible?
Because then he was obviously, I also saw him. He was good mates with the main judge and shit,
Yeah, exactly.
So, but I mean, fuck, at the end of the day, you just got to bring your fucking best package, and if you're the best on stage, you're the best on stage. Fuck the way you placed or whatever. If you think you're the best on stage, well,
and it'll eventually show. I think if you're on the competitive scene enough and you're growing yourself, for lack of a better word, maybe it's just saying growing your brand as, I mean, your brand is in your body. Eventually, it's going to be noticed.
Yeah.
If you are that elite level of guy, you might not be winning all the competitions, like, but eventually someone's going to say, hey, listen, when you're on the big boy stage, then there's nobody's, you know, cousin and uncle
Exactly.
and stuff. And
When
that's
you
what
go to
makes
world,
it.
you're right.
And when people start making those jump from, like you said, from karting to essays and then trying to get their O card or whatever it is, then it's a different game, because then it's nobody's friends and you're literally training with people and judging by people that it's the world's biggest industry or the world's biggest competition when you're there. So it is a bit different.
I think that's 100% right. Once you start getting up and there's not too much of that.
I think that's a story for a lot of things, like that maybe more so in bodybuilding is that break points, like to get your foot over that trench, bro, to get to the other side is what the big fight is for. So just in general, bro, if you are training and it is what you're about, don't get discouraged by results. I mean, for you to come here and say, dude, you finished second and then you finished sixth, and then when you said you finished sixth, you're like, oh, I finished sixth. It's like your second competition ever, you know what I'm saying?
And you brought a better package to the second competition. You came sick, but you you improved and
you cannot improve. It's just about staying in there with the top dogs, and then eventually, if you're good enough, you might not always have to finish first. You know, eventually, just got to get your name out there, get your body out there.
Especially these days
and
with
it's
social
fun,
media.
You know?
I would say, like with social media, it's also a big thing. Like with instilling your brand, you see a lot of guys, they got like fucking whatever, they got 50,000 followers on Instagram, but they're not the best on stage. Now whether that going forward is going to impact the judges' decision,
especially for these smaller competitions, you know, where the actual competition is trying to get their name out there, and they choose a winner who's got 200,000 followers. That winner's going to post on his page over 200,000 followers at this competition.
It's hand for hand. So they're promoting the competition by saying that this guy won because he has the biggest audience. Which is a problem.
It's an interesting point.
Because at the end of the day, we know from running this business that we'd way rather have a guy posting on his Instagram that has 200,000 followers than a guy that looks better than him, but has 500. You know what I mean? So it's now with social media, it's a bit of a fucking mix up. But as you said, I think once you get to the higher level, everyone, even with social media, is kind of
evens out. Because the guys that are at the top, they're all going to be in the same boat. There might be one or two guys that walk into a room and you go, oh my god, that's fucking. Besides that, you know, I think everybody's like on an even playing field when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So Mark, how's the I know I spoke to you about this before, but how's the training now during lockdown? How's it affected your physique, your eating?
Difficult, eh?
Okay.
You know, I mean, so I don't have a full-on home gym. You know, I go to the gym. So what I've been doing is just running for cardio. At least we're allowed to do that again.
Allowed to run.
Yeah, great.
We can do cardio.
Me and cardio ain't no friend.
No, don't you?
So then I've got a little bit of equipment, you know, like a pull-up bar and a barbell and a resistance band, and I've been making do with that. But bodybuilding is all about, you know, building and shaping your body. That's why you go to the gym and you get all these different kind of machines and cables and benches that you can use to target little specific spots. You know, because you want to grow, like, let's say your shoulder. You don't want to just have a bigger shoulder. You look in the mirror and you say, okay, this over here needs to be a little big. At the gym, you can do that. You can target it. Not really possible at home, you know, unless you have a lot of your own equipment. So it's been tough. So I guess I've just been maintaining, you know.
And the mental side, how's the mental side? Because I think being live discussed this briefly. It must be quite a challenge for people that is your industry, your profession is your body, and then you now put in the situation where you can't train properly. You, like you said, you don't have access to these things, and you every day you have to wake up and still deal with that, you know, looking at yourself in the mirror, maybe not have the results that you want, you know, things are getting smaller, the belly's starting to leak out a bit now, I can't tell you. So like, you know, that the mental game is also probably tiring at the moment as well.
Yeah, you did right. I mean, it's more difficult to get yourself to start working out, but then even now, okay, cool, I started now, I can't stop, I've had my pre-workouts, too late. but then you don't have all the people around you that are also busy training, you know, giving you motivation. Because when you get to the gym, you're like, okay, that guy's training, that guy's training, that guy's training.
Yeah, it's just something pleasant about walking through those styles and you just hear the ding, ding, ding,
yeah.
and you're like, okay,
there's no better sound in the whole world for me than that
Yeah.
sound. Like the
Everything I
plates
hate
fucking
is,
smash together.
this fucking Virgin Active, the pool's too close to the back pool, so like sometimes the water splashes over. It's fucking terrible. I'm gonna complain. Virgin fucking cradle slope. I fucking don't like that shit.
So and your eating, because I know before you answer me, I know from not from personal experience, but from my mates that train and they want to compete and whatever. That's been their biggest thing, because now that they're not like training, they're like, fuck, like, why should I eat 6 meals if I'm not fucking training? You know? But they need to understand that if you want to keep that size on, you're gonna have to eat those 6 meals, whether you fucking training or not, Or obviously it depends on your body type and whatever. But like I know for me, if I stop eating my 5 meals a day, I'm fucked. Like I'll lose weight by the weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess I don't know. Lots of people have struggled with their diets. I know it from lots of my mates. It's like I don't know if it's a mental thing, or it's just because they're not training as hard, or they're not pushing the same amount of weight. I don't know what it is, but
yeah, I was actually speaking to my wife about it the other day, and I told her I was complaining, about I missed the gym, whatever. But then I kind of came to the realization that to get a good body and to look how you want to look, you got to train your ass off, but you guys both know the diet is at least 50% of it.
Yes, I would say more, because in my personal experience, like I was training, and I'd lose like 1 or 2 kgs, and then Lau gave me the strict program, and I think I probably lost like 15 kgs in the space of like 2 months.
Massive difference.
And it was just the change of diet is so extraordinary for training. It's actually unbelievable.
Yeah, you can't train your way out of a bad diet.
They go hand in hand. The thing is, you can't have one without the other.
And also it's also part of the game. I think that meal prep and just always be eating on the right times and stuff it's part of the training. We want to look at it as 2 different things, but part of the training is that discipline of just making sure that your diet's right, you eat at the right times, you're drinking enough water, checking all the boxes every day. That's what makes bodybuilding such a tough sport. Is that strict discipline that I think parallel to a lot of sports. There's not a lot of sports that I can think of where it's like literally from when you wake up until when you go to sleep, every single thing that you do counts. Which is incredible. And
I mean, it's the full 24 hours, because even if you say from when you wake up, but you still got to get 8 hours of sleep, because you grow, while you're sleeping.
Which I guess is the nice part about bodybuilding. Maybe you got an excuse to sleep in.
Definitely.
But the thing is, you can't have, like you said, you can't have one without the other.
No.
But you can train as hard as you fucking want, but if you're eating like
then nothing's gonna happen.
You might see, if you're a beginner, you might see some improvements. Obviously there's beginner gains. I know for a fact if I just trained and I ate 3 times a day, literally nothing. Not nothing. I would lose size, like fucking quickly, which is crazy to think, bro. That you can eat. I can just literally eat badly for 2 days, 3 days. My physique changes literally completely. I don't know if it's just me, because my metabolism is so fast that it happens. I don't know. Does that type of stuff happen with you? So if let's say you eat fucking well for the week, and then maybe something happens on the Friday, so you eat crap from Friday to Monday, what will happen to your physique?
So if let's say I'm eating well from Monday to Friday, then Friday comes, Friday afternoon, have a couple of beers and, go out with a mate or grab something to eat. The next day I would look much better than I did the Friday, because, I've been depleting, I've been getting cut, and then I chop carbs and whatever. So I wake up on the Saturday, my muscles are nice and full, I'm not storing too much water. But by the Monday morning, then,
it's a different story.
It's a different story. But mostly because for me, it's different. I I don't lose weight like you do over a couple of days, but I'll definitely I can pick up a kg or 2 over a weekend.
Fat,
Yeah, but I'd say it's actually mostly water, you know, like I eat very salty foods.
Okay.
And then Monday I drink like 5 liters of water, and by Tuesday, then I'm back to how I was on the Friday. Then I watch those 4 days, you know, to...
Yeah, so I guess it all depends on your body type.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, 100%.
Us, just literally sitting right here, the three of us, our diets are completely different.
The way we train is probably completely different. It's wild, bro. 3 extraordinary different body types in this room.
Yeah. But I guess at the end of the day, you got to know your body. That's the biggest thing. I think that's also a mistake a lot of guys make is like they don't like having a coach. I think is very important because they spend the time studying your body. You know, they study. You send photos to him every day. He sees exactly what you're eating. And then he can kind of tell you, like, listen, yeah, bro, this is your body type. This is what you need to be eating. And that's what I know for a fact that once the gym's open, whenever the fucking gym's open, because they need to fucking open.
Yeah, dude.
I know, like, that's my first thing I want to do is I want to get a better coach, like a really good coach, because I mean, I know a lot about bodybuilding, but I mean, fuck, bro. I mean, if I can get a coach like Vic Ali or whatever to do it properly, I'm sure my physique will change.
Yeah.
Because maybe I'm eating a lot of food, but maybe I'm not eating the right carbs or the right protein. I mean, I'm eating fucking chicken and rice, chicken and pasta, chicken and potato, but maybe it's bad for my body type. Maybe I should be eating couscous or fucking, I don't know, only sweet potato. So also I think that's an important thing, you know.
Also having like a third party set of eyes, like someone looking from the outside. It's like in any sport, you make those mistakes without realizing you're making those mistakes. And then if you correct yourself, sometimes you tend to correct yourselves in like a negative way because you're correcting your own mistakes, and that's not really a way. Like if you don't really know how to correct the mistake and you try and correct it, you just learn basically you're enforcing that bad behavior in yourself again and again and again.
Yeah.
So having that third set of eyes that says, you know what, Lyle, I've been watching you eat like this for the last 2 weeks, let's try this. Yeah. Or I've been seeing that you've been training, you might have been missing this section. I think I can see that this is the section that needs improvement. You know, you might be wanting to work on your legs this week because you feel that your legs are not right. This guy's saying, whoa, your legs are right. This is in fact what you need to work on this week is this and this and this. Yeah. Which I think is, when it comes to bodybuilding and if it comes to competition, I would agree with you. I'd say coaching is a very, very important part of it. Having, or not even coaching, maybe just having a team. Yeah. A team around you, everybody that's training around you, and honest people, not bullshitters, because I think in this industry especially, there's too many yes men. So there's a bunch of guys that look good and they train together, they eat properly, but they won't tell his mates, hey dude, listen, you need to do this, or you need to fix this, or you need to do this, because you know, like they're scared of hurting his feelings and stuff. Because it is a very egotistical sport. It is. We can't lie about it. It is very based on it's you. It's not like you kicking a ball around or something. This is you. It's your body. Yeah. You're getting judged for what you look like. Yeah. It's not. You're not getting judged because you missed the tackle or whatever. You're getting judged for being an individual.
Yeah. And that's not something you can change like
and
this.
there's not a lot of people that would criticize a mate or criticize someone else about that, especially if. So now your mate's competing and you just train with him 5 times a week. So you're not competing, but you and him are, you know, he's at just a level above you. And I see this a lot of the time. So there'll be one guy in a group, and that one guy is obviously the catalyst. He's the competitor, and then the other guys just train around him. Dude, like everything that the guy does, it's yes, this and because where's that honesty? That's what you got to do. You got to slap your mate again. It's back there. Like this is the 3rd time that you've trained that muscle group this week. I know you think that's your best asset. But you need to do this, you need to do this. Yeah. You need that honesty in this sport.
Honestly, you do need someone to tell you, listen, Lyle, your fucking arms, bro. Gym them because they fucking skinny. You know? Honestly, listen, it's not what you want to hear at all. But sometimes you need to fucking hear that shit, you know? Yeah, so but like, okay, fuck. Because the thing is also you see yourself every day. So to see progress is also kind of, it's hard. So if you have someone like a coach is not with you every day, you know, you send him a photo, whatever, twice a week or whatever, you can kind of see the difference. I know I can't see the difference, you know, like
But I think it's like definitely good to have a coach. But most people, I think, can't afford a coach.
Yes,
and even if you can afford a coach, I think it's very good for anyone who's interested in health and fitness to go look and do research for yourself. I mean, everything is there. Everything is on the internet, you know.
And this goes back to the conversation about body types. There's a lot of, I wouldn't say bullshit artists, but there's a lot of people that are, it's worked for them. The formula's worked for them. So they sell their formula, tit for tat, to other people, and it doesn't work for them. There's all these fatty diets, and you go on YouTube, and there's all these guys saying, "Yo, you want to fucking eat a pizza and look like me, bro?" Like, dude, it's so annoying because, bro, it's some fucking guy that does not know any better. He's investing his time and, more importantly, his money and his health into something that might necessarily not work for him, which angers me. So I think that is such a good point. That you should get into fitness. You should start training. I think it's changed my life in the last year. Losing weight and just being fit and active has changed me drastically. It's changed my professional life. It's changed my home life. I feel better. I feel more energetic. I just feel better about myself. Then, still got a lot of work to do. But, from where I was to where I am now.
You're on the journey.
Yeah, you're on the journey, and it's a great thing. But I think that's a very good point. If anyone joins the journey, which I encourage you must, that do the research for yourself, because not necessarily everything that you see is not going to work for you. And the way that someone might eat, you might be wasting time. You might find that you can cut 5 kgs in a week, but you're not, because you're following Tim Nooks's fucking whatever it's telling you to do this week.
I agree with that big time. There's a lot of O's in this industry that, the thing is, they tell you what you want to hear.
Because there's so many dreams.
I mean,
and it's hard. I don't know. Do you think they sell you dreams? I mean, they tell you, you got to eat salads and these kind of things. Now everybody knows, you're not going to get shredded by eating pizza all the time.
There are guys like that. I mean, but there's also guys like that guy we're talking about. He's like, fuck, you want to eat whatever you want,
I suppose,
and you want to look like me. And I'm like, dude, don't talk fucking shit. You just got it's like me or my brother. He's got a very fast metabolism, so you can kind of put whatever in his body as long as it's high in calories, and he'll keep that muscle size and not have
or anything.
But if you eat 2 pizzas a day, Tyler, you'll look like
I'll roll out of
it. Exactly. Yeah. So it's this industry does have a lot of people that.
I guess that's where flexible dieting comes into it. Like I'm a big believer in flexible dieting because. I mean, I can, for sure, I can go on a crash diet for 2 weeks and I can eat perfectly for 2 weeks and I'll see mad results. But after those 2 weeks, I'm just going to try whatever I want, and now I'm going to go back to how I looked before that 2 weeks. So
that's a good point.
For me, I see it as I see the long game. I want to be doing this. I mean, my goal is to be a 60-year-old man and still have my abs. So I want to just keep it going, and
keep healthy.
Yeah, so that's why I believe in flexible dieting. That's why I do, on the weekends eat almost whatever I want, and even during the week, someone like me who has a sweet tooth, I'll eat like a protein bar at night. I mean, it's still the macros are still great. 200 calories these days. The bar's 200 calories with 22 grams of protein and like 1 gram of sugar.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. But it gives you that satisfaction, like it's something good now.
Sweet,
Okay.
So, and what do you think would be better for you? Obviously, you've been doing this for a while, and you've been doing this flexible dieting for as long as I've known you. Well, I mean, the last 3 or 4 years. Two years that you've been in Pretoria. Eh?
Yeah.
Well, how long have you been?
I've been back here about 3 years.
3 years, yeah. So, would you say, like results-wise, what would be better for you? The way you're doing it now, like where you strict during the week, then you have a blowout on the weekend, then again, or to have maybe like an in-between. So you don't have a blowout per se, but you just consistently eat not as clean as what you were eating during the week. And you kind of like maybe throw in a pizza, and then the rest is all clean. What do you think would work better for you?
I honestly don't know, but I can tell you I've thought about it and I've just been too scared to try.
You're just scared you're just going to fall off the bandwagon completely.
Because if I decide on a Wednesday, like,
Wednesday's pizza night.
Yeah, I'm going to have a pizza tonight. And then this weekend, instead of having the night I would have had a pizza, I'm going to have a salad. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
Saturday night, I'm not gonna.
Okay, I think you got to trick yourself as well. You got to know your, because like we said, it goes back to the mental game. You got to know yourself, bro. We can lie, sit here and lie to yourselves as much as you want, but you've got to know how. Like you said, that's your game. It's just eat those 5 days clean. Weekend, go ham. Come back to Monday, and then if that works for you, it works for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like we were saying, you know, it all depends on your person.
Yeah.
But besides that, I want to ask. So, I know you've competed. You've been training for a long time. I know you're a fitness fanatic. I mean, you can't get enough of it. So tell me, are you for your goals in the future? Is it you want to compete? You want to just maintain your physique? You want to put on size? You want to lose size? What is your main goal? Let's say 5 years from now.
5 years from now, I'd say I want to be about 5 kgs heavier, which is not much, but on a lower average body fat. So I would say now my body fat average over the year is around, let's say 8%, 7%. But if I can in 5 years be 5 kgs heavier and with an average body fat of 5 or 6%, that's where I want to be. Yeah.
Okay. And you don't realize is 5 kilos of muscle is a lot.
Oh, so
lean muscle,
especially lean muscle. If it's lean,
otherwise it's mostly just water and shit. But let me tell you something, Mark. If you put 5 kilos on and be more leaner than you are now,
no, that's trouble.
So
that's trouble.
So your I take it your goal isn't to, obviously you got like, you know, you're a businessman at the end of the day. You got your businesses in that's your big game, and you train on the side. You know, that's it. But tell me, would you compete again? Is it something that you enjoyed?
I did. I definitely enjoyed it. Okay. I have to be in the right headspace for it, you know. So I definitely will compete again. And now, you know, as I said, like I just want to be an old man and still have abs, you know. So, but along the way there, it's now and again I get a bee in my bonnet where I'm just like, let's see how shredded I can get. And then like I spend the next 6 months to a year seeing if I can get more shredded than I've been previously, you know, seeing what new veins can pop out of random places. And then I do that, and then that some of those times will just happen to coincide with like, okay, there's a competition 2 weeks from now, and I'm already like more shredded than I've ever been on another competition. That's kind of how it is for me, you know. Okay,
that's awesome. And when it comes to like a division, when you competed, so you've competed in muscular physique, muscular men's physique, and then athletic men's physique. What well, first of all, which one did you prefer, and then going forward, what would you like to compete in?
So I definitely preferred athletic physique. I mean,
so you preferred being smaller, more ripped?
Yeah, I'd say so. But even in athletic physique, they still told me that I was a little bit too big to be in athletic physique. But that was for and that's IFBB. I mean, the different federations have their different standards. So what the judges told me is that, you know, I was shredded and whatever, but what they want for they don't want guys with specifically big backs or big chests.
You've got quite a natural large frame of like shoulders.
So they want like IFBB in athletic physique wants guys who have, you know, a triangle like wide this way, but not wide from your chest to your back. They want you there, they want you thin. But in other federations, the athletic physique is different. And I've seen the guys that win there look more like the muscular physique guys in IFBB. So the next time I compete, it's not going to be in IFBB.
It'll be in another federation.
Yeah, it'll be in something else. But that's that's what I'll do.
Okay, awesome. Cool, Mike. It's been great talking to you. Thanks so much for coming on the podcast.
Guys, it's been awesome.
Thanks, man. This was great.
It's awesome to have you on the GHI team as well. It's only up from here, and I love being a part of it. You know, the hardcore team. You know, the hardcore team, and it's only going to improve. You know, get some more bad motherfuckers to represent us. But and if anyone wants to follow Mark, the link will be in the description. And Thanks so much for coming, Mike.
100%, guys.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
I'll
Thanks,
come back on here again one day when I'm in prep for competition, so we can talk about how that's like.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'd love that. We'd absolutely